What's up, St. Louis? It's your host, Luke Farrell of the STL Bucket List Show. This episode, we had a great conversation with Open Highway Music Festival, which is going to be coming to St. Louis Father's Day weekend. And this episode is also presented by the Regional Arts Commission of St. Louis. They're the largest public funder of arts and art programming right here in St. Louis. And if you didn't know, St. Louis is an arts town. Enjoy the show.
If you want to hear about St. Louis, tune in to the Bucket List Show weekly. Hear what Marissa and Luke say. It drops every Wednesday. Got a dope new guest every single week. Buckle up for the ride. Who's it gonna be? Who's on the show today? They rep St. Louis. What to do in the loo on a late night, or maybe what to do on a date night. Yeah, Bucket List has you covered. They know what's going on. What's going on? They'll give you, hey, 18 different things to do, or 19 if you need one more to choose. Yeah, this city is a place we call home. A place we call home, yeah.
What's up, St. Louis? Don't forget that Mattress Direct is another sponsor of our episode. And if you guys are looking for a great night's sleep and a great shopping experience for your mattress, head over to Mattress Direct.
Guys, the website's stlmattressdirect.com. They have 18 area locations. There's a chance that you're pretty close to one. There's something different about shopping local. So go head over there, get yourself a good night's sleep.
What's up, St. Louis? Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the STL Bucket List Show. I'm your host, Marissa Farrell.
And I am your other host, Luke Farrell. And before we get into the episode today, I got to shout out my friends over at the Regional Arts Commission of St. Louis, one of our presenting sponsors of the podcast, and actually the largest public funder of art and art programming right here in St. Louis. And this event that we have on, the person we're talking to today, is a good friend of Rax as well. So it's going to be a great episode. And of course, our friends over at Four Hands Brewing Company, always keeping us from being dehydrated, making sure that we're right. So, I want to introduce our guest today. So we have John Henry, and if you guys don't know John Henry, he's a musician, but he's also one of the creators and founders of the Open Highway Music Festival, which is going to be coming up here in a couple weeks. So thanks for coming on.
Thanks for coming on. Really appreciate you having me.
Yeah. So John, we want to get to know you. We can talk about the festival all day. I know you've been in festival mode probably for the last 6 months, and it's finally coming to the finish line. But we want to learn a little bit more about you. If you want to kind of tell us a little bit about your background, how you got into music and that.
Well, I'm happy to be here. I grew up in South City, right by the hill. Yeah. I went to St. Ambrose Grade School, SLU High School.
Hey,
and
you're a real St. Louis boy.
I was, yeah. And so that was, I had a good childhood. I played in bands in high school, and going into college, I wanted to be, I wanted my life to be in music, and the artist side was always the most important side to me. But, as I kept playing, I knew that I wanted to be married and have kids, and I knew that a lot of travel would sometimes be at odds with a happy home life in that regard. So I was like, I want to do something where I'm still involved, but I don't always have to be out on the road. So Open Highway kind of came about, and it's just blossomed into, more than just something fun, how it started, So that's the genesis of that. But, growing up like in bands, I was kind of, the guy that would settle the show or line up the details, so kind of becoming like a manager business guy, without even like really thinking about it. Because I think like any small business, like the more talents you have that you can bring to bear on anything at the beginning, like the better, because you can't afford to outsource everything, and so
that's facts.
And I feel like all the talent that you have, like as a person, like you can, across the board, it can help you with what you're doing. So
and you kind of have to do it all yourself, like us small business owners as well, as like we do every aspect of it.
Yeah.
And now we're at a point where you can start outsourcing things. And over the last 12 years, like the first show, actually tell us about the first one.
And I want to get into the history.
Tell us about the first.
Okay, so the backstory of the actual event was, I was at the time, this was like 2010. I was doing a lot of touring with like, they call it red dirt country, and I'm not a country musician, but I was just like alt country enough to like fit on some of these shows. So we would play with a lot of these bands from Texas, Oklahoma, Colorado in some cases. And it was just like, there was tons of people there, and like everybody was like partying and they would buy your merch. And I was like, this is sweet. So, as that kind of progressed on the artist side, I'm like, I want to incorporate this into booking these shows in St. Louis because I wasn't seeing a lot of it coming through town. So I just started doing that, but bringing those bands in. And, even guys like Jason Isbell, like who's headlining this year, like the first show we did was, at a club, and it was $1,000 guarantee. You know what I mean? So it was from the very beginning. It was working with artists like that would grow, hopefully. And then so I saw these bands, and we put it together over just like a 3-day. I think we did a 3-day weekend in August, and then every year since then I've just tried to grow it, and then. Post-COVID, I really wanted to take it to the next level of really take a stab at making it a large outdoor event, turning into a regional event, but still being, proudly independent. And, I say St. Louis, and I know it's not in St. Louis, but, our sponsors and our restaurants and, Four Hands is working with us. They're all from it's St. Louis. Yeah. So it's a local flavor on a national caliber event is what we're looking to build.
I like it.
Yeah, I think that's special, and it's like if you're not doing it, then who's going to bring it? And there's a couple big festivals here. I know Music at the Intersection's making a comeback. Which is in September.
Yeah, and then
Evolution.
Fest. Yeah, and all of those are great lineups and at different spots at different times of year, and Kransberg and Music at the Intersection have been supportive of us when we were growing. So yeah, I'm happy to see these new events, and I feel like they all have somewhat of their own lane in the sense where it's not necessarily feeding off the same clientele in a way, same audience. But
so what's like the music genre like for this festival?
Yeah, so I think it initially started maybe a bit more country than it's become, but what music that I've always been kind of drawn to is just Americana, and that's a broad term, but I think it can cover anything from country, red dirt country, blues, soul. I think rock and roll is Americana, and some of these lines get blurred, so it's difficult to see. But you would say that it's kind of a rootsier style of music, but it also tends to be like progressive thinking folks with some of the stuff,
That's the feel good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's going to be great. So what would be, and this is like coming from a business, but like what's a misconception that you would get as like what is your job title when you were doing it? Are you a promoter? I don't
really know. I was thinking about that the other day. Like founder, CEO. Like I feel like as this has grown, like this year's the first year I've really felt it where we've begun to outsource things in such a way where I'm doing less and less hands-on, but I'm just as busy like approving or kind of like guiding those processes through. And I've got a really good team with me for marketing and sales and social media and art, and it's people we've worked with for years. So I feel like we're hitting this year. We've really kind of hit a stride on the organizational level, which is like really important to me. Like I'm a nerd with business stuff. I'm really interested in operational excellence and how do we operate this, in a way that's cultivates this audience, but at the same time is authentic and you just kind of have to use your instincts and have a good team with you.
Sure. How long does it take? Like how long is the process to build this out?
Like, we kind of figure out a date and we moved to June this year. I wanted to move a little bit earlier in the summer just for weather and just for like schedule wise.
When did it used to be?
We were doing it in August for a while. Yeah.
Okay.
Like for a while, for like the first 10 or 11, 12 years, whatever it was. And then the wanted to move to June. We got an opportunity with Isbell, worked out perfect. And so, that was in like September.
Okay.
But it could be a year, like I've already started talking to people about Open Highway 2024.
Sure.
Just getting like, hey, this is kind of what we're looking at, because we want to grow one element, one level every year at a time. So, not like this massive scale necessarily, but just, all right, this is good. Operational excellence with understanding that we're limited by the size of our team. So the things that you want to do are huge, and the things that you can execute well are smaller, so it's like you got to pick those.
Yeah, you got to pick your battles and which ones you're going to focus on.
Where are we going to spend our money and our time?
And yeah, you guys did a good job. The artwork is incredible. I love the branding.
Thanks.
Colors, like I'm sure that's the stuff that excites me. Like those colors just feel like what you're explaining in like that dirt, like the Americana. Like it's just this
vibrant.
It's vibrant, and then the food that you're bringing, and like although you're in Chesterfield, that becomes a access level to families and all these other things that can come to this event that might not want to go downtown. And it's and you're in the middle of where all the people are,
right?
In the metro.
And I think there's like this. I certainly have it. I had it really bad when I lived in the city, where it's like anytime something's like 15 minutes away, it's like far in St. Louis.
No, I totally get that. Oh, that's a hike.
Yeah, you're like, oh man, but like, like where my wife's from and like my situation now living where we live, it's like everything's like 25 or 30 minutes away. It's just, and Chesterfield, it's like 20 minutes, 25 minutes from St.Louis, like downtown. So
there's a lot going on there too. I mean, with the factory moving in, and then the production house,
Gateway,
they're doing incredible stuff out there.
I was out there yesterday, and it's like there's just things going up everywhere, buildings, like new homes,
right. Even where the amphitheater is, that's going to be like this downtown area.
I saw,
what's the like? What would you say to somebody that still hasn't bought a ticket? Like, what would they expect going to this event? Like, just tell us about that experience.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we have a 3,200 cap venue, so this isn't a mega huge festival. So even though you're outside and you're seeing a bigger act, there's still a vibe of intimacy, and it's a nice place to see a show setting wise. I think that people who haven't been to Chesterfield Amphitheater are missing out because, every time when I first started kind of meeting with those people, the folks that run it, I was like, this is like a gem. Like, and I do think it's a great place to see a show, and we'll have a nice PA obviously, and then good lighting, and then we're doing the the build up top with the food options and the second stage and things like that. So getting back to your question, I'd say you can expect a nice intimate outdoor fest where people are usually very friendly and cool, and it tends to be more grown-ups, and we're working on getting some younger people to come, but it tends to be grown folks, as we say. So
that's how it always kind of is. Like everybody's like, I want this festival for all these young people, and it's just like all the young people, they'll just drive to like Lollapalooza or something like that. It's just like, but you got to look at your demo, and like your demo is 40-year-old people, probably people that are just like you. Honestly,
exactly.
Like, they're like,
you have to understand the market. Yeah, I mean, and that's one of the things that's really hard too after COVID is figuring out what is, what's the what are audience behaviors now, and it seems pretty back to normal, but people they're not going to buy super expensive tickets here. You have to keep the price affordable, because this is the market that we live in. This is just the fact.
Right. And then how many stages are in the amphitheater?
Yeah, so there's the main stage, the U.S. Soy main stage, which is the amphitheater proper. And then we have the RAC stage, RAC stage up top, which will be a smaller acoustic St. Louis artist stage.
Oh, cool. So that you'll have multiple artists going on at the same time.
Well, actually, what we do is there's music throughout the day, but there's never two at once.
Oh, okay.
So one ends, the other one starts, this one ends, the next one starts. So it's continuous. The RAC stage up top is more acoustic and intimate, where you can get close and still talk and hear some local artists that you really like that in that format. Yeah.
So what about the food? How involved? I'm a big foodie.
We got to know about the food.
we got to hear how involved were you in the food process?
How involved? I was like, it's you want to work with people who get what you're doing as well, and we want our partners to be successful. So we try not to do as huge of a sales pitch as you would think, because we're just like, hey, this is what we're going to do. We think this is what we did last year. We think you'd be good for this reason. And then they're like, yeah, let's do it. And then we have some repeats from last year with Grace's Fish and Chicken. I mean, they're insane. And then High Point, Zaki's, which is Jordanian, I believe.
Okay. Yep.
It's presented by Sauce.
Yeah. Okay.
So they've been really helpful.
Like connecting with food vendors and stuff
things
like
that would work, and understanding the amount that we need. So it's like another local
connection
organization that is supporting us, and vice versa. And
cool.
So it's it's good to
Well, I'm excited about Grace. I was just actually with Rick earlier.
Yeah.
He was on our podcast like 3 weeks ago. But yeah, I
bet he's a good guest.
Oh, he's got some good, they have some good stories. But yeah, High Point, obviously, High Point's been crushing it. And burgers. Yeah, we've had High Point on here, Mike Johnson and Ben over there. But yeah, like that type of stuff. It's like, I want beer and I want fried fish and it's easy to eat stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's another thing too, is it has to be actionable.
You're to be standing up.
Is it all food trucks then?
Yes, I believe they do like a little side setup as well where they're doing an activation.
Okay.
Like I know who's going to be there. I just don't know
exactly
if they're using their specific food truck. And then Narwhal's, Four Hands, and Boulevard.
Okay,
awesome. Good ones.
Yeah, the frozen
Those
drinks
are some of our faves.
Amazing. Yeah, Narwhal's is great. So with the festival itself, it's obviously evolved over the years. Tell us about like kind of what your role is. Is this all you do usually, or do you have other stuff, like other things? Obviously, you're a musician as well.
Yeah, I mean the music side is I'm putting out stuff as often as I can, and sitting on like an EP that I'm releasing individually throughout the summer. So that's fun.
What's your gig? Like, what do you play, or what?
I'm a guitar player and singer.
Okay.
Yeah, songwriter.
Nice.
Yeah. So I mean, sort of similar, I guess, to what the festival is in a way too. Where like you kind of give them you have like the main idea, and then you bring people in to make it better.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, here's what I got.
Yeah.
Let's develop this a little bit.
Yeah, because I mean, like the team on the fest, they're great, and then my bandmates, they're great too, because they'll do the same thing where it's like, let's not tell us things that we want to hear. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I think it's interesting that you are a musician yourself that's doing the festival, because I'm sure that a lot of these, like, not like the bigger acts, they're fine, but like some of these, acts that you're getting in there, like you can talk to them on a different level than other.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not just like a suit. Yeah. I'm not a suit just trying to hire you.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's been one element that we've been trying to push with this fest from the beginning, is that, this is an independent small business. It's not like it's not owned by anybody besides us. And it's, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, this is us doing it, that right. type of thing. But I mean, you just have to be authentic and be yourself. And the thing is, it's not about me. It's about like the idea of this type of music and these things. So I'll put myself out there as much as I need to. Like,
I was going to say, would you ever consider playing on like the acoustic stage or anything?
Well, we were just talking about that like right before we started. I was like, I would feel like a rich kid or something, like where you're like your
dad got you a spot.
Just so that you could put myself here.
He's playing with Isabel on his own festival. So.
Yeah, you're like the one right before him. You're the one right before him.
You're just the back. I guess you could be the backup in case an emergency happened.
But also like all this energy that you're exhausting, like you're not like rehearsing, and like all this energy that you're putting into the festival, the last thing you want to do is be like, all right guys, like you're probably gonna be
I gotta rehearse.
Like I want you to be able to enjoy it, but like when you run these events, like you're working.
Well, and that you only have so much like mental and emotional capacity for a weekend. It's like it's like, I think that's one of the things I've learned like as I've gotten older, is like you have to like limit the expectation of what could be gotten from whatever situation you're in, based on time and money.
Right. No, I agree with you 100%. Yeah. You have to start saying no to things.
Yeah.
So with Open Highway Music Festival, what other things do you have in the future that you want to bring? Like, is it other festivals? Is it St. Louis region, or like what is like kind of the long-term mission with what you guys are doing?
I would like to continue to grow this. Right now, our main goal is turning this into a regional event where people are coming in from out of town, and to grow in a way where it's sustainable and measured growth. I'd say I joking around with our team, it's like not being a rocket ship, it being just like an airliner that's like nice and steady. And like doesn't,
until you get to 40,000, just like slowly getting up there.
But you get the metaphor. Yeah. No, you know what I'm saying? Just like nice, like we did this well this year. We didn't do this well. Let's take that up, and then just keep. Obviously, like the goal is based around the talent, like beefing that up every year. We can't miss that. Like that's sick. Yeah.
So what's that like? Like figuring out what musicians you're gonna like. Do you go out? Do they come to you, or do you have a scout that goes out? Like how does that work?
I mean, I'm essentially the scout. Yeah. Like for 10 years, I booked a venue called Off Broadway. Okay. So it's like my day-to-day life was booking club shows. So it's like a lot of it's relationship-based business with agents, and a lot of agents will work with multiple clients. And so you kind of get a feel for working with a lot of the same folks. Mm-hmm. And then this year they're like, we have this, and then you get into the negotiation, like what's the, what are you looking for financially? And then there's how, you try to get the best deal that you can, try to be as easy as you can with it, just so it's done, approve that, sign off, and then,
So you start with the bigger acts first and then work your way down.
Yeah.
Because you want to lock in the headliners and make sure that
Exactly,
the weekend works for them.
I mean, like, so we have a Google sheet, like a big, open highway dashboard essentially. So, the first sheet was artists that we thought would be good, and then, you get 40 people, headliners, and then 20 of them right off the bat are like, well, we're not playing the market this year, we already have plans in St. Louis, or you don't know, so like immediately, but you start there. And for me, I view this business, this festival side right now, the stage right now is like a skeleton where you build from the head down, like you have to, like, money's on top, they're going to come see this person, and then everything that you support it with, it just has to be very good. Is where we're at now. If we had more money, we could spend more on talent,
Sure.
Right.
But
I get it.
And you want to make sure it lines up, like you said, Jason Isbell, like it lined up where maybe he was on his way through.
It was routing. I mean, that's what makes festivals tough, is that if you have to get them on a one-off date, which a date where they're coming out, it's the prices. I mean, because of the prices for them are more expensive too. Like if you're on a run, you can. You're already passing through.
Yeah.
If you're driving from Nashville to here, and then you got, it could be a whole thing. So, or maybe band members are out of town, they got to fly in, and
right.
So,
Lots of factors.
It's a industry I'd love to learn more about. I mean, it's crazy, like the stuff that you guys do. And I mean, you've been in it for so long, and like from bands, like you said, you booked them for $1,000 now. I'm sure that price is.
Yeah, well, I was
we don't have to talk about it, but I know
I was joking with his agent about it. Like, I was like, look at our first contract. Yeah. Like, isn't that crazy? I'm happy for him. Yeah, I'm really happy for him, because it's like I remember when I first started, and look, I'm not like a psychic. The guy was great then, and he's great now, if you're into that type of music. But it was like, oh, this has legs. There's a story. There's a whole thing. And sometimes, and then it just kept. And he was great, and it just kept getting better and better. And
that's what you want.
Right. And then, all that. And I've worked with a lot of artists like that, like in this field, where they come through and they're at a club level and you're like, yeah, I'll never see them. Like,
yeah, I'll never be this close to this person again, or whatever. Sitting right there.
Right. Yeah. Like I'm not going to work, like they're never going to be at this club again. Like they're gone. Like it's too big. And now we're developing a business where we won't lose that. We'll have that all the way through. So
and each year it becomes more and more legitimate. I mean, you've been doing it for 12, but like you said, this last couple of years have been like the really, when you're
like really big. It was like a niche, almost like a hobby, I'd say. And now it's become like, let's try to turn this into, an event and just get it as well done as we could get it.
Right. I was going to talk about Rack a little bit and just how they've supported, like in terms of obviously making it better and perfecting it. Like, how has Rack been supportive of what you're doing? They've
been unbelievable partners to us, and we're trying to be back to them, because they're like extremely helpful. Obviously, they've helped us on the financial side too, but I mean, almost more importantly than that, they've been like influential in connecting us with different folks like yourself and media, and just the reach that they have. And it's nice when like you see an organization that like really puts their money where their mouth is.
That's
and,
right.
And helps out like the people in the community that they say that they do, like the independent and just, working musicians or working artists.
Of all types, for sure.
I was talking to Jay, and Jay has been talking about this since before you guys like he's been, because he's a fan. That's I think one of the main like reasons why they're pouring so much energy into it, because like they're excited about it too, personally.
I mean, I feel like we try to get that I'm grateful for that, and I'm thankful that they're working with us and that he likes it. But I think that's the best type of relationship for that, because you want people to get what you're trying to do, and who kind of understand the vision of where you want it to go, and they're supportive, and they'll actually really support you. Yeah. So it's been great.
Yeah, it's they've been awesome for us too.
Yeah, they're great partners for sure. And again, just supportive in all aspects.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter what kind of artistry you're into. Like, they are there, they believe in it, and they do have like the best resources to connect you and help in any way that you
And we've
need.
done events. We've done like events, smaller scale events, and they've helped us with those. But I wanted to talk to you because I've planned my own events and I've always lost money.
Yeah.
So
well,
I wanted to
mean,
ask you about like these events that you've been doing over the
What's the
last
secret
12
sauce?
years. Like
What's the secret sauce?
we did an event. We just want to do cool shit that like the city of St. Louis doesn't have. Like we go to New York, we go to Chicago, and they're activating stuff all the time. Yeah. So I'm like, let's bring like, we did like a night market with like a DJ, vinyl DJ. We had all these vendors.
Yeah.
And like we had everybody out for free. We're just like, hey, just show up. We'll give you a 10 by 10 spot. And like we had this amazing event, and Rock helped us out with that. But like we lost money because we just wanted to do something cool, like a concept. But your experience of like throwing your own events, like it's hard to make money in events.
It's really hard. I think that you almost have to look at it like it's going to take a few years to get it kind of floating, and kind of going into this, we knew that if we could get through like year 3 and be still in the game and like good reputation, we'd probably be okay. You know, so it's like, it's certainly not a sprint. And I feel like, you know, economically, like it will continue to grow as more people know about it. But I knew that the hardest 3 years, like the hardest 3, if we could get through that we'd probably be okay. Like,
and you're probably super reflective of like you're saying, like, again, just trying to perfect it. It's like what worked or what didn't work last year.
Yeah.
How do we need to tweak things?
No wasted movement type of thing. I mean, and just honestly, one of the biggest things that I've tried to do this year is just communication. Like, it kind of opens my, you know, like, am I communicating well enough to the team? How is my communication? I ask them, are we doing it? You know, like, you know,
because
but
you think in your head that they should be already doing it, but unless you like let them know what needs to be done, how are you expect anything to actually get done?
Yeah. So I don't know. I think communication is I mean, it's good in life. It's important in life, especially married life. But,
that's right.
Yeah. But
it's all a balance.
Yeah.
No, but it's true, because you're like, well, I wanted like stuff, because then it just gets worse. If communication is bad, then 6 months go by, and then like you wonder why like nothing is
resentment and just things falling through the cracks, and like, I don't know. We try to do no drama. Like, it's just like, what, you know, let's just be straight up, and we're not counting on any miracles from anybody, you know, with regard to like coming in with some huge amount. We figure we could do it with what we have so far, and if we get more, that's great. And just trying to like have a really good sense of self, in the sense of like the business. Like, this is who we are right now. Yeah. We're not Lollapalooza. We're not going to act like them. We can't post that fire social content because we don't have it yet. This is who we are until we're something.
Well, you're going to get it this year.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying, though? It's
no,
like,
I feel
it's like
the
influencer vibe, and I get it. The whole thing. But it's just like, I mean, sometimes you just got to be like, this is who we are, and like
authentically, yes.
Yeah,
right.
Like,
and how do you portray that, like through your social messaging, and then also like through your website, and like kind of like you're laying everything out, like this is the type of festival to expect, you know? Yeah,
I mean, we try to keep it simple with ticket options. So like, the less people have to write in, I think the better job we're doing. You know what I mean? And of course, you're going to have it when you're dealing with crowds. You're going to have people that write in with questions that are easily figure outable, you know, but I mean, just trying to be.
I like that though. I like the ticketing thing, because I did go to your website and it was just simple. It was just boom, boom. It's not like, oh, tier 1, flash pass, flash sale, like all this confusion where you're like looking at it like, wait, which one do I buy?
It's confusing and it's expensive, a lot of these things, and you don't know what you're all the way getting. And I don't like that, because I think our audience, they count on us to give them like the straight up thing. And so it's like, if you buy this, you get this and this and this. If you buy this, you get this. That's it.
Sure.
And when they're gone, they're gone. And and we'll tell you about it. Like,
we'll let you know.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be honest with people. I don't want like any element of this to be like confrontational, like with agents, with artists, with tour managers, with the crowd. I don't want that. Like, that's not how I like to operate. I want to be like stress-free so we could focus on what we're really doing. You know what I mean?
Just giving a product to a bunch of people.
It's you're delivering an experience. Yeah. Or you're setting it up. You're setting someone up for an experience.
Yeah. A positive, enjoyable.
You hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Is there anything else you want to touch on, like for listeners at the festival?
Yeah, I mean, you could check out you could like us on Facebook, or if that's still a thing. I mean,
Yes, it's still a thing.
Yeah, we're on the TikTok, we're on the Instagram, we're on all the socials. Me trying to like figure out how to like fit into the world of TikTok has been fun.
It's a lot.
Because it's like I'll put something out, I'm like, this is good, this is probably going to get some clicks, and then I just use their template, and it's like
it's an auto template.
so many more likes for some stupid, it's hilarious.
You're just trying to figure it out. Well, that's why you bring people in, some young people to help you with that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like how do you work this thing?
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I get how to work it. It's just knowing what's
Gets clicks,
captivating
and whatever.
content.
Sure.
Yeah.
TikTok's
follow on there. So there's still tickets left.
Yes,
still GA.
we're sold out of seated passes and weekend passes, but you can still get general admission, it's really great. You could bring a blanket or a chair and sit in the grass is essentially what it is, or stand. Yeah, it's nice.
And how much are those?
The Friday night is $35. The Saturday is $75. Okay. So Friday's just kind of like a late evening night show, and then Saturday's 2:00 till curfew 10:30.
Perfect.
So it's a full day. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good. I mean, that, like you were saying, like it's an affordable way to get that experience, and it's right here in our city. It's a 10-minute drive, 20-minute drive, wherever you're going. What festival do you like? Do you have? I'm sure you draw inspiration, but like, what other festivals in the U.S. like kind of like compare to what you guys are building over here that maybe have already built something that you guys are kind of striving for?
I think anything. There's the Coachella family of festivals does a country one called Stagecoach.
Okay.
I believe they're involved, and like I'm interested in like the operation, like how they can put all this stuff on, because something like that is completely unbelievable. And like a few weeks ago when they had Coachella, they were doing the live stream and they were like backstage, and I could see all the generators and I'm looking at that and I'm just like, oh my God, like these people are like, they got to be the top
in the world. Like that would stress you out looking at all those generators.
Well, I was actually kind of like excited. I felt like such a weirdo, because I'm into like operations and just like how they're gonna do all this.
You're like pausing it. And like
yeah.
No, it was like they had the Blink. Their Blink was getting ready to go on, and then they were like messing around backstage, and it's like thousands of people. It was just a cool.
So they do Stagecoach. You think
they do? I think they're involved with Stagecoach. I'm amazed by that one. I mean, any of these huge fests that can deliver like just the excellence of like a Lala every year. I mean, Austin City Limits is cool, and then Treeline in Columbia is a great one. I don't know if you've been. It was called Roots and Blues for a long time.
Leon Bridges headlined that a couple years ago.
And that's in Stevens Lake Park. That's a great spot to see a fest.
That's right in Columbia. It's like in the middle of the US,
that's like low key a really good one to go see if you're into that style of music.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
And then Open Highway. What's the name?
You know what?
Ask you about that.
I legit just one day I was like, Open Highway. It's like it's kind of got like a Road of Promise idea. It's like it doesn't and it sounds like movement, and there's touring and I was just like, I just kind of like the sound of it. And
I
then,
do too.
Yeah, thank you. Well, it was a total like
I love that though. Everybody always asks like it doesn't always have to mean something.
Right.
It can mean whatever you want it to mean, and everybody has it. Everybody on your team probably thinks of it a different way. And
sure.
Open Highway to me means freedom or whatever whatever it means to whoever. But I do like Open Highway because it does give you that vibe of kind of what you're going for with the Americana, like on the road, everybody's touring, and everybody meets up right in St. Louis, like right in all these open highways that go anywhere across. Maybe I'll just come. We'll talk about it later.
No, I mean I get it. I think that was part of the idea, and then I think our designer John Simons, who when he made the Interstate logo, like really like I love that. It was perfect for what it was, and but yeah, I mean I think there is something super romantic about highways and road and traveling, and especially being on the road when you're young and like, oh, this is going to be amazing, and it is, but it's also like a grind. So.
Love it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for coming on.
Oh,
Appreciate
I had
it.
a good time. Thank you so much.
You got anything else?
You gonna ask the bucket list?
Oh my gosh, I forgot.
Slipping.
So we do have one question we always ask people. So you're a St. Louis guy. You've been here your whole life.
Okay.
What is your STL bucket list? So this means something different for everyone, but basically a bucket list is like your favorite things to do in St. Louis, favorite restaurants.
Where are you going to celebrate putting a festival together after
I would love.
What are your bucket list spots?
So as an artist, I would love to play the Fox.
Okay.
I mean, like a dream would be like, it would be me headlining and it sells out. Like that would be the dream. You know what I mean? Like that would be like, but playing the Fox, I love the Fox.
Yeah.
And then what was the second?
So the other
part?
one could be like food, so like date night vibes. Like, what's a good spot that you guys?
Family day, whatever.
Yeah, family.
I really want to go to the new Katie's Pizza.
At Ballpark
I've
Village?
only had the frozen pizzas.
you gotta
I've
get the full
never been
experience.
there.
Yeah,
I've never been to one of those, and there was a lot of press last week
yeah,
Yes.
with the thing, and I was thinking that that'd be a good date night.
yeah. And then go to the Cardinals game after.
Yeah.
or just hang out with. Even just go there, just in general.
Yeah.
But
You should go after the festival and treat yourself.
Yeah, I think so. But
good
yeah, I
night.
mean, I love food, and I like it all from fast food up to fine dining. I'll go with the flow.
Yeah.
So I love it all.
yeah, so like the STL bucket list question is just usually just like, what are your favorite? Everybody has a different bucket list. Like,
Yeah.
your bucket list is to play at the Fox Theater.
Yeah, yeah.
Where, sometimes our bucket list is just to get sandwiches from Mom's Deli in South City and then go to Forest Park and eat them on the Art Hill. Everybody has this like different idea.
That would be good. So on a family thing, that would be more of like a bucket list.
Yeah.
Go, get some food and go over to Art Hill. Oh, that's a good spot.
Yeah, and just do a little picnic.
We were there
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah, we just did a picnic there
Nice.
yesterday. That's what I'm saying. Like in St. Louis, we have so much access to free things that we can do. Like you don't have to spend that much money to have fun.
It really is a livable, like, cool city with stuff like that. I mean, the zoo's great. Obviously, Forest Park.
Mm-hmm.
Like even out in St. Charles, where I live, like there's so many great parks.
Right.
Yeah.
Like for kids, for adults, for walking. I mean, it's a lot, and there's never anybody like enough people out.
Yeah, there's
Sure.
never enough to where it's like busy. Where it's
Right.
like,
Space, get out
Yeah.
there. Cool. Well, when this episode comes out next week, it'll be a week from the
Yeah, it'll be
festival.
about
So
10 days. 10
you
days.
guys
from
have
the festival.
time to get your GA tickets. Go over to the website, like on all socials.
Yeah, we'll drop them. But yeah, scoop up the
Attach 'em.
tickets, guys. Go do something. That weekend, that's Father's Day weekend too.
It is
isn't
Father's Day
oh
weekend.
my God, get your dad something.
That's what I'm
Come
saying.
on.
Like, we don't need another tie.
Yeah, we don't need any more
Give the gift
ties.
of open highway.
Yes.
We don't need socks. We just want to go
give a good
drink beer
experience.
and eat some Grace fried chicken and fish,
And it's
bro.
the same. I mean, it's not going to be like, it's affordable ticket. Like, it's
Yeah.
affordable.
Yeah, just get your dad one, and then he can just go by himself.
Yeah, that might be the best Father's Day.
Yeah, right? A little downtime.
I just got you one ticket. I got you an Uber. I'll see you tonight.
I'm just kidding, kids. I love you. Yeah.
Make it an outing. Cool.
But yeah, we'll drop the links, guys. Again, thank you to RAC, Regional Arts Commission, for sponsoring our podcast and also connecting us with John here so that we can have a amazing episode. But we come out with a new episode every Wednesday. We highlight the people, places, and events that make St. Louis special. So this is going to be a big one. We're going to look back at this podcast one day and we're going to be like, oh, we had them on the podcast when it's super, super big one day. And then,
I hope so.
Yeah, you know so.
we will.
We know so.
Yeah.
But yeah, appreciate you coming on, man. Thank you.
Thanks,
Yeah,
John.
thank you.
Today they rep St. Louis, yeah. They rep St. Louis. They rep St. Louis.